I'm Mary Beth Stapleton, Manager of Family and Community Partnerships for Harford County Public Schools. Welcome to our Parent Academy Real Talk, our virtual Real Talk today on early childhood education. With me today, I have Kathy Griffin, who oversees our early childhood department for Harford County Public Schools. Hi, Kathy.
Hello.
Hi, how are you today?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Before we get started, today's focus is really how do we get our little ones ready for kindergarten? And I know that your professional experience, you have a lot of experience on how to prepare young children for school and making sure that they're ready and knowing how important that is for our families to get our children ready for school. So can you talk a little bit for parents about what your background is?
Sure. My background has been early childhood, my whole work career. I've spent over 25 years in early childhood, only worked for Harford County Public Schools. So I've taught pre-kindergarten and kindergarten. And for the past 6 years, I have been the early childhood coordinator for Harford County Public Schools.
Wow, that's a big job. So that means all the early childhood, so that means all the kindergarten teachers and pre-K teachers, you support them and write the curriculum and help get them trained and such.
Absolutely. Those teachers and their paraprofessionals are under my umbrella. And I also coordinate with the Judy Center, work with child care providers in Harford County.
Oh, so all the child care providers you provide training and support for too.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, that's it.
We do a lot of collaboration and articulation so we can best meet the needs of all of the incoming students for Harford County Public Schools.
Oh, great. So that must mean that you help child care providers with having them understand what kids will need to know when they get into the school, right? When they get into kindergarten.
Absolutely. I work with them annually and multiple times throughout the year, and we do some presentations on school readiness, just as we're going to talk about here today.
Mm-hmm.
And without the COVID, we typically do parents informational trainings as well as our unfortunate workshop that had to be canceled, our early childhood summit. But
Yes.
We're going to continue to reach out every year and continue to get as much support as we can to assist with school readiness and children getting prepared for kindergarten.
Awesome. It's a great job and an important job. And really, if you look at all the research, right, one of the most important jobs is making sure that our little ones are ready for kindergarten.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
let's talk about that. Having had 4 kids myself and, really knowing some things and not so much on other things. I had really great childcare because I was a working mom when they were little. But that said, what are some things that parents need to know around building, I've heard skills for little ones before they come into kindergarten? So thinking first things first, we know a lot about the reading and the books and how important that is. Can you talk a little bit for parents about what that looks like for little guys?
Sure. Essentially, school readiness is a child's ability to demonstrate those foundational skills and knowledge and behaviors to prepare them for learning. So just to prepare them for kindergarten. And as you said, there's been extensive research that shows that the first 5 years of a child's life is the most critical for their development. Yeah. The brain develops at that point at the most rapid pace in any point of a life. Wow. So it's the groundwork that is being laid for language acquisition, literacy, mathematics, problem solving, social emotional growth, executive functioning, physical skills, and just the overall approach to learning.
Wow. So when you're looking at a 4-year-old, who knew all that was going on while they're running around the backyard?
Absolutely.
It's really important work that's happening when they're running around and doing all that they do when they play. So that's amazing. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So thinking about that for parents and knowing that we hear so many different things about what we should do to help our children be ready. And sometimes it's a little stressful because you want to make sure that you're doing everything right. Not that there ever is anything right when it comes to parenting. We do our best. But thinking about that, what are some what are some things that we should be doing at home right now, even with this extra time, perhaps for families, to get our children ready?
Yes, absolutely. There's so many things that are learning opportunities through play and just everyday life skills that sometimes parents don't even think about. Oh, my child is learning. Even when you're driving in the car, you see the sign that says McDonald's or you see the sign that says Target, just simply reading or looking at what letters are involved in those things. So there's so many things that are involved in learning and you just don't realize that your child is learning. So I'm just going to go over a few simple tips that pretty much everybody can do at home. Just read to your child, show them the pictures, talk about the book, who is in the book, what is the book about, where is the book happening. Just simply spending time with your child, talking to your child, having a conversation, asking them about their day, asking them what they plan to do next, what are they going to play with. How is the play going? What are you building? What are you painting? What are you drawing? Singing, things like that. Creating routines is especially important for children at young ages because they thrive on routines. So just to have a typical schedule when they're going to wake up, getting dressed, eating breakfast. First, we're going to do this, then we're going to do that, and just kind of plan out your day, having a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Encourage your child to answer some questions and just some counting skills,
Mm-hmm.
some counting using any kind of materials that you have around your house. I don't know, food cans, buttons, crayons, pencils, blocks.
It's funny because my grandson, he's 2, and he was trying to count dandelions.
Yep, there you go.
I mean, you didn't need anything from the store. He just ran out in the park, tried to count dandelions. So yeah, like you said, anything works, right?
Anything works, just have your child move the item or touch it and count it, and just building those counting skills up to 10, recognizing what the numbers look like. Encourage your children to play with friends. If you can get out to the playground or go to any kind of play groups, going to the library.
Yeah, so thinking about that, just to interrupt you for just a minute, knowing we are where we are right now and knowing that we have the closure and the playground. I know some are open now, some are not, but I think that might be a worry for some parents because they don't have as much social interaction as they had before with their friends.
Yes.
So, so it sounds like perhaps we might need to even gear up a little bit more than we have before and be very intentional about making sure we're having that play time with our little ones.
Yes, my son is diabetic, so we've been extra cautious with him here at home.
Yeah.
So, the socialization is very important. The best you can, if you have a computer and you can do any kind of virtual talking to either family members or other children, cousins, relatives.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to have a solution when you're contained and trying to keep yourself healthy and safe. But
yeah, but you said the library, and they do have online resources now, don't they? We can share that resource as a link.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, so thinking about, you said letters and counting and all of that important stuff. So thinking about registration, right? So it's May, and now it's time, if we have a little one at home, and it's time to get registered. So what age do you need to be to register? How do you get registered for the little one to be, your child to register? How do you get registered? What's that process look like?
So to go into kindergarten, your child needs to turn 5 by September the 1st of the of the kindergarten school year.
Okay.
So this year we are rolling out an online registration for kindergarten on up, and parents just basically go onto the Harford County Public Schools website, www.hcps.org. They're going to click About Us and Our Schools.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to visit the website of the school that your child's going to attend, and then you're going to click the online registration link and follow those instructions. The platform appears to be very easy, and once you enter some type of information, for example, a parent's name or an address, it will populate again. So an online registration is possible. If for some reason parents are unable to register online, once the buildings are open up again, parents will be able to come into the buildings to get some assistance with registration.
So in order to find out, for example, if you're a new mom or new dad, this is your oldest child or your first child or your only child, how do you even find out what your elementary school is?
I believe there is a school locator on the Harper County Public Schools website.
Okay.
So you can visit the school locator. All you need to do is type in your address and boom.
Wow.
And boom, you find your school. So it's very easy.
Oh, very good. Okay, so you can get your information that way. And then from there you would go on your school's website to register online. Okay.
Yes.
What's the cutoff for kindergarten registration? Is there a cutoff for the next school year?
There is absolutely no cutoff. It is most helpful if you're able to register before August, because it does help the school system in planning to know how many teachers are going to be needed per the class size.
Okay.
So it's most helpful if you're able to register before August. Mm-hmm. But, children move all the time. We might get somebody that moves from Virginia or Florida or Pennsylvania. So we take students throughout the whole year. There is no close date.
Oh, okay. So for a normal kindergarten school year, we don't know what will happen because we're all in that stage now of just trying to see what's going to happen with the COVID. But that said, so thinking about them coming in September, what are some things that you're having your teachers expect to see when they come in the door, right? When they just get started, what do we want our little ones to really be able to do on that first week of school?
So children come from all walks of life and all different families, all different communities, all different experiences. So we accept every child and we take that child from exactly where they are and we move them forward. So it doesn't matter if you feel like your child is right on target for kindergarten, if you feel like your child is missing some gaps or has any special needs, or if you feel like your child is gifted and talented and advanced. Excuse me. So basically, once the kindergarten teachers meet the children, either in person or virtually, they're going to do some talking and some assessing and getting to know the child. And that's important. So we get to know the child and we get to know what their strengths are and what their needs are, and we move the children along appropriately. So like I said, it doesn't matter if you feel like your child is right on target, if they're a little bit behind in or have some gaps in specific skills, or if they're advanced. We're going to make sure that they get the appropriate education.
Nice. Very good. And I think that is a relief for parents to hear because, to be honest, there's a lot of competition out in the media about, making sure your child's this or that or advanced and such, and you're right. I mean, just letting them walk in that door and be who they are and take it from there. So that's reassuring, I think, for parents. But thinking about two groups that you just mentioned, so the first group would be if we have some parents who have little ones, they're just concerned about them and their development, they're just not sure how things are going. Is it on track? Is it not on track? Is there anything they can do between now and September to kind of check in with somebody and get some feedback in addition to their pediatrician, right?
Sure. If you have a smartphone or a computer or a tablet, there is a great resource called the CDC Milestone Tracker.
Oh.
So the milestone tracker can assist you. It's very simple, very easy to use, can assist you with knowing milestones that your child should attain. The Harford County Public Schools also has something called Child Find. And Child Find is an avenue that you can utilize if you feel like your child may have some, or you may have some speech concerns or some developmental concerns with your child. So you would just search for Child Find. I believe that the main headquarters is at Hickory Elementary School.
Oh, okay. So there's staff available to assist. Right now it would be virtually.
Yes.
To assist with any concerns you might have for your I guess 4 or 5-year-old, right? There's probably 4-year-olds that'll turn 5 this summer and then 5-year-olds. So.
Yep. And even a little bit lower, we have infants and toddlers. and 3-year-olds.
Oh,
So
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 little.
so absolutely birth through 5. We
Oh,
have supports.
wonderful. That's probably great news for parents to hear. The other thing is to think about our 4 and 5-year-olds who really are showing what a parent might feel is some advanced learning.
Mhm.
Um, what does that look like? What do you think, if as a teacher, if you see a child coming in the door, what are some things you think, okay, yeah, they really are accelerated learners?
So in a typical aspect, an accelerated learner would look like a child that is able to read a book that would contain 10 to 12 pages
Mm.
and 2 to 3 sentences per page.
Oh,
So that would be an accelerated reader.
okay.
For mathematics, a child that could count to 100, do some simple addition and subtraction within 10.
Mm.
Social emotionally, an accelerated child would be a child that handles small group and large group situations, is able to problem solve on their own, and just with those executive functions and handling their emotions and responsibilities.
Oh, okay. So that does sound pretty advanced. And so if there is that kind of a child that has those skills, for a parent that they're seeing, what are some resources available for those little ones?
So basically, once you're in school, you would work with your kindergarten teacher, or
Okay.
there's also gifted and talented teachers that don't work specifically in the classroom but can be a resource. So there's tons of different websites. One of my favorites is starfall.com.
Mm,
There's PBS Kids. There's different avenues to utilize online as resources.
that's great. Well, these are all good ideas.
Yeah, and the best thing to do is, if your child is still in some type of community program, to reach out to that teacher, to reach out to me. Once they're in school, you can reach out to your kindergarten teacher, and the kindergarten teacher will definitely supply lots of resources.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, this is really great information. And I am so excited that we have the online registration now because we get to meet our new friends.
Yes.
Our new friends will get registered and we'll get them ready to go by September. And that's what I know you and your staff are doing. So really, your work is just so important. To your point, we've got to make sure our little ones are ready for school so that they can really be successful as they go forward in their education. So thank you for
Absolutely.
everything. Thank you
Those
for
little
everything you do.
Our little children are at my heart, and I want to provide the best supports that we can and have the county provide everything that we can provide for those children. So
Oh, that's fabulous. Thank
most
you.
exciting to give them the best jump start in life.
Absolutely. Well, and remember, Hartford County's parents are our little ones' first and best teachers. So
Yes,
thank
they
you for
are.
being with us today for the Parent Academy Real Talk. And we'll see you next time. Stay well.
Thank you.